करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 ओम गंगरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम. So very welcome for today, and we are going to speak about tattvas and kosas again, but today I would like to add the one sutras of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, the sutra number 57. So before we study Tattva Dharana, today we are going to study the Shiva Tattva Dharana, but same time I am also speaking on the Tattva Suddhi. So both has to continue. So yesterday I have been speaking about a lot of things about Annamaya Kosha, but let I recite the sutra number 57, the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. So Shiva Tattva Dharana about Asya Sarvasya Viswasya Paryantesu Samantatah Adhva Prakiya Tattvam Saivam Dhatva Mahodaya. Say Asya Sarvasya Viswasya Paryantesu Samantatah Adhva Prakiya Tattvam Saivam Dhatma Mahodaya. Asya of this, Sarvasya of all, Viswasya of the universe, and Paryantes up to, Samantataha on all sides. Adhva Prakriyaya, Adhva method, Prakriya means by the way, Tattvam, Tattva. Saivam, Saiva, Dhayatva, meditate. Maha Udaya, rise of the higher or the greatest. So anyway, a lot of things to learn in these sutras, but what is exactly Shiva Tattva Dharana? By these methods, one should meditate on all the sides, the aspect of the universe, up to the Shiva Tattva, which is the point essence of all. In this way, the experience of the supreme reality arises. What exactly that slokas? So let study commentary, how we can understand the sloka and how the sloka is related to the previous Tattva Dharana, that is the sutra of 54 and 55. You must be clear. Tattva is Tattva. Either Shiva Tattva Dharana, they speak about Tattva Dharana, they speak, then again they speak about Shiva Tattva Dharana. So without Tattva Dharana, then how can I understand the Shiva Tattva Dharana? So let we can clarify more to understand what is the Shiva Tattva Dharana according to my Grandmaster. But of course, because here you need to meditate on Saiva Dhattva, meditate on Shiva. This sloka describes the progression of the previous dharana in which the whole universe that has evolved through time and space was dissolved back into the unmanifest. Shiva Tattva refers to the source from which all creation ensues. Technically, it is the state prior to manifestation where the consciousness is described as the Sudha Tattva. Sudha means the pure, the transparency, the transparent Tattva, the truth, the pure nature of the consciousness, where there is no notion of duality. So Shiva Tattva here means the Sudha Tattva. So Shiva Tattva means you are going to experience nothing but pure the consciousness. So that is all about the Sudha Tattva and Shiva Tattva, the pure consciousness, where there is no notion of duality. This essence of the entire universe which exists within each and every speck of creation, as well as the independently beyond creation, is to meditate it or concentrate it upon through a process of involution. So I read this commentary and I will explain you properly. To understand this process is a simpler way. Suppose you want to remember the period in your childhood when you were in your mother's lap. You will have to travel backward in time from your present age to the moment when you are a little toddler. In this process, you will have to focus your awareness on each and every moment you have experienced and thus gradually wind your way back to that moment. In the same way, you should reverse the process of evolution and travel back in time and space to the period before the universe was created. At this point, just before the emanation of the primary evaluate of creation, the awareness can be focused on the Shiva Tattva. So, which is the essence of supreme reality from which the universe has evolved. This is a dharana of Jnana Yoga, which requires discerning awareness. What I mean these slokas, Shiva Tattva, they speak about not the what you are going to experience, all kind of nature. So this sutra number 57, they don't talk about your family life. They don't talk about stress and strain. They don't talk about your, they don't talk about this. So Shiva Tattva Dharana is not discuss anything. Even if they don't talk about your as you are a human being. Even they don't talk about this creation. They talk about the creation, the creation, the source of the creations. Means before creation, they speak about Shiva Tattva. You have to realize the Shiva Tattva means before creation, before this universe, before the whole world or the universe, anything. So that talk about the Shiva Tattva. So they are not interested about your life now. So now, so Bhairav, he don't, now he speak with the Mother Parvati, the goddess. I think you have enough, lot of study now. So little bit go to backward. Therefore, they give examples. When you are a lap of your mother, so whatever you're facing today is nothing. But you have to go to back into time. You see that in the same way, you should reverse the process evolution. They say that before the evolutions, before the time of creation, the whole universe. So that is about Shiva Tattva. In the same way, you should reverse the process of evolution and the travel back in time and space to the period before the universe was created. Could you imagine that? Not they talk about this creation at all, not about the earth or the sun or the moon or Mars or Jupiter or the, you understand, Saturn. They don't talk about these planets at all, nothing. So you have to be clear that what kind of consciousness you need in order to understand the Sutra number 57. Shiva Tattva, you need to experience the Shiva Tattva, the Sudha, the pure, the consciousness. It was before inverse. So you think about this, the only inverse. No, there are 1,000 inverse also. You must be clear. 1,000 kind of world there. You say only world, one world. No. You only think is this the only earth. You only think the 9 planet or sun. There are 1,000 sun also in different creations. This is one of the creations. There is one sun. There are 1,000 creations, which is we may not able to understand through our limited consciousness. There is many planets, many creations, many universe. That is out of our understanding of the consciousness. And you study yoga, you every day fight with your bread, butter, chapati, your wife, your children, and dog, cat, brothers, friends, teachers, wife. Every day you fight for nothing. But now the Sutra 57 does not interfere. Wife or children, cat, rat, mouse, yoga, nothing. Am I clear that? They don't talk about yoga, what you study in asanas. Not interested. So Vairava was speaking to Vairavi, you have, when you can be free from your suffering and miseries, only when you reach the Shiva consciousness, the Shiva Tattva, where the pure consciousness, that is called Sudha Tattva, the pure, even before inverse. But when inverse comes, the world comes, the earth comes, different planet comes, then you have all confusion starts. So here the sutra number 57 is that you understand the sutra number 57, they don't talk about anything about material world. They don't talk about your nature. They don't talk about your asana, pranaya, mudra, bandha, kundali, tantra, mantra, right path, left path, whatever. They don't talk about this tantra now. So sometimes people coming to study tantra, which path is speaking? So no, Lord Shiva not interested in this kind of tantra. So he speak about Lord Shiva, the Vairav speaking. You have to understand the source of the whole universe, because many universe there. Before creations, and I was, and I am. Even this whole universe will be died, or will be, how say, collapsed. This planet will be collapsed. All moon, all sun, thousand suns are there. You understand sun? So 1,000 suns will be died, will be collapsed. You see so many stars in the sky, all will be collapsed. Nothing will be exist. But I am exist as a pure consciousness. And that through that consciousness, everything is coming today. And that is illusion, called Mahamaya, the great illusion, the divine illusion, the divine Mahamaya. O Parasakti, you must meditate. So by this method, one should meditate on all the sides of the aspect of the universe. All sides. Now we have to be very clear. What it means all sides? Is not this creation, not this earth, not these planets, all sides. It means you have to understand whatever coming from the pure consciousness, and that you must meditate. And these are the illusions, notions. But when you understand the pure consciousness of Shiva, and that is only can help you the final liberations, then you merge the kingdom of Shiva. You see that Lord Shiva, among all the sciences, whatever exists in either yogic science, either tantric science, or Vedantic science, whatever the science exists for the enlightenment, it must be clear, everyone here. And most the ancient time, most the primordial, the science of spirituality is the science of a Shiva consciousness. There's many consciousness. Also we speak about Krishna consciousness. We speak about Devi consciousness. We speak about Baba consciousness, Mama consciousness. So many consciousness. But only the Shiva consciousness can make you liberation. The final freedom. O Bhairavi, O Devi, you must meditate. All the sides. What does that mean? You meditate the complete aspect of my personality on my pure consciousness. And this aspect of the universe up to the Shiva Tattva. It's up to the Shiva Tattva. Asya sarvasya viswasya paryanta samantata. Asya sarvasya. Whatever the Viswa means the universe. You must meditate the whole universe. What does that mean? I sometimes can't think. Even I can't speak about that. Because before universe, I only speak from the sutras, from book, and I can read the Sanskrit for you. Even out of my imaginations, out of my brain, out of my understandings, what really Lord Vairava tried to speak and tried to teach to the Vairavi is out of my brain even. Understand? Out of my mind. I personally speak as a Swami Samarpan. So I can only close my eyes and I can understand intellectually, yes, that the consciousness, and which consciousness exists all the time. Even whole, the planet can be collapsed. The all stars can be collapsed. All whole universe can be collapsed. But I am that consciousness exists. Oh Bhairavi, you must experience that consciousness. You must meditate that consciousness. Then only you can free from all your miseries and suffering, because there is no notion, there is no doubts at all. You may have studied all kinds. There is the problems, and therefore you are suffering. But you must be clear. I am only exist, nothing more. There is no creations. There is no inverse. There is no papa, mama, children, cat, rat, mouse, anything, nothing. So, O Devi, O Bhairavi, meditate that Shiva Tattva. So therefore, Bhairavi, the mother Parvati, and surrender to Lord Shiva. You are the only person. Oh my Lord, oh my Master, oh my Guru, you are the only person who knows what exactly I want. You know what I need. You know I'm suffering. You know I need the freedom. And I understand. I hope you accept me as a good student, as a good disciple, so you can teach me such a science, so I can reach the kingdom of freedom, the consciousness. And that consciousness, that science, that wisdom you have, and nobody have it. So you can see that. According to this Vijnana Tantra, and among the all spiritual science, I can tell you one thing very clear. The Shiva, the Lord Shiva, only the master who have the wisdom of the totality of the freedom. And once you enter that kingdom of the consciousness, you never return. You never return to this planet of sufferings and samsaras. So therefore, but it must be clear, there is 1,000 God and Goddess. But I'm not speaking God and Goddess only. You can check it. So that is the Shiva consciousness. Of course, this consciousness we can achieve not by reading the books, but by total surrender to the Master and Guru and to the Lord Shiva. And this is, and I laugh, I smile a little bit. What kind of consciousness of Shiva? Even before inverse, he not speak out, I'm the inverse. No, I am exist before this creation, before the inverse. Oh Parvati, meditate on that, all the sides of the aspect of the inverse of the Shiva Tattva, up to the Shiva Tattva. So meditate, because whatever our problems are exist in this inverse, but he don't talk about your family life and social life and political life, nothing. But you have to little bit develop the higher consciousness. So here, the Sutta number 57, you are not meditate on the Shiva Tattva only to resolve your stress and strain. As I speak before, meditate every day, release your stress and strain. Practice asanas, release your daily life of this stress. I'm not today speaking this content today. Today, the content is not today, right? But I'm speaking today, this is not content today. Content about to reach, to understand. So not possible to understand the Shiva Tattva, not possible. So what is possible? In this way, the experience of the supreme reality arises. At this point, just before the emancipation of the primary evolution of the creation, the awareness can be focused on the Shiva Tattva. At this point, just before the emanations of the primary evolution of the creation, not the speaking this creation. Lord Shiva speaking, the Bhairava speaking to Bhairavi, the creation, which creation means before creation. There are 1,000 creations. Thousands creations was created out of Maya, either divine powers, whatever. This whole universe created 1,000 times, million times. That you know, all of you also. As per the history, many civilizations came and gone, many civilizations. You must be clear. The time of golden is Satya Yuga, Kali Yuga, Tretaya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Like this, 1,000 times, million times come and gone. So Lord Shiva speaking, not to meditate on this. You have to go beyond this. Thousand millions creations come and gone. And you have too much confusions. You are confused because of this creation, the Maya. Thousand millions. The creation is created. Million times. I don't know how many times. I don't count even today. But so therefore, a little bit clear that the primary of the creation, primary evolution of the creation, there are 1,000 creations already created. Millions creation are created. But the Bhairava speaking, the before the creations, the past evolved creation, that part to meditate. So therefore, here commentators they speak. They say to understand this process is a simpler way. Suppose you want to remember the period of your childhood, like you want to remember the real source of the consciousness of the evolution, the fast evolution. He speak out fast. That is million times the creation was created. Even is out of your thoughts now, right? What I'm speaking is called madness about the spiritual enlightenments. And how many times you was born? How many times you are died? You are born as a mosquito, as a fly, as a cockroach, ants, mouse, cat. You are maybe cat. How many times you eating a lot of fish? How many times you killed some animals? All things are karmas. The confusion brings. So he speak about the evolution. He speak about the evolution of the life. You must be clear. To understand this process a simpler way. Very simple. Suppose you want to remember the pure consciousness of the Lord Shiva. What does that mean? Pure consciousness, which conscious it was exist. And you forget today. And that is your real source of the evolution of the life. That's the real source. Where you need to go back and where you're coming from. So where are you coming from? From the real source. If you want to remember your mother, you must remember the lap of your mother. They say to understand this process in a simpler way, suppose you want to remember the period in your childhood when you are a kid. What do you have to remember when you are in your mother's lap? You will have to travel backward in time from your present age to the moment when you are a little toddler. Toddler means, so like that. So you have to meditate. Everything go backward, 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 backward. That's why when Lord Buddha, he was meditate, he meditate, travel back in time and space to the period of the universe was created. Could you imagine? You have to meditate the period, the time the universe was created. But when you meditate, you think about your house, about your food, about your little bills, about wife and children, how much stress you have, everything. So then when you can think about your universe, when you have time to think about it. If your daily life of this stress and strain, you not realize and you are not free, then how you can meditate about the universe? Could you imagine that? So freedom not seems very easy life and to reach the Shiva consciousness. There is many kind of consciousness and you come and go. I'm not going to details about different philosophies and different psychologies. But so far I'm concerned, if you merge in the Shiva Tattva, the pure consciousness of Shiva, then there is no way to return the samsara in order to suffering and miseries. That's the only consciousness. There is many kind of consciousness, many kind of God and Goddess. You enter there, you return back again to suffering. Even the Krishna consciousness, many people speak. You go to Krishna consciousness, come back again for suffering. Because Krishna consciousness we speak, in India we make jokes, it's called drama. So many people want to entertainment. Jenny asks me about Krishna. There are 30 million god and goddess. They born and die, born and die. Same thing, Krishna also born and die. So there is no final liberation for Krishna itself. He need to meditate properly. Even Lord Krishna need to meditate for liberation. That the only God, Lord Shiva, he was never born and never died. That the only the consciousness eternal among the 33 million God and God goddess. If someone Krishna devotee listening to me, they're going to slap me, because this Krishna devotees are very happy, eating with the very nice sweets and chant Hare Krishna, jumping, pop down, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, they're jumping from pop down, bhakti yoga, taking too much sweets for nothing. They say, and we happy because Krishna likes a lot of sweets. So they like this. As if we are Shiva devotee, we always meditate. So we don't care the sweets. So Monday I do fastings because Shiva always meditate. So I dedicate at least one day my life to Lord Shiva. In Monday, every Monday, I dedicate my life to Shiva because Shiva meditate. He never eat. So I feel to kind to Lord Shiva. Oh Shiva, you are my God. You don't eat the whole life. So at least once a week, I should not eat. So I always think about Lord Shiva and meditate. Lord Shiva always in meditation. He never eat. He never sleep. He always think about you. And he was kind and compassionate among the God. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of compassion. We say, Karpura Gaurang Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendraharam. Karpura Gaurang Karunavataram Karuna Avataram. Oh Lord Shiva, you are the incarnation of the compassion. Only God among the 33 million God and Goddess in our Hindu mythology or whatever say, Hindu cultures, Hindu spirituality, or whatever you can say. I don't know what the name I should give. But only God, Lord Shiva, is the incarnation, the personification of the compassion. Karpura Gauram. Karpura means camphor. Is the clean, like a crystal, like clear, like a white. No, there is no even one spot there. So Lord Shiva is one of the cleanest yogi, the master, the guru, by all the way, either physical, mental, character, whatever the way. Karpura Garam Karuna Vavataram. Sansar Saram. You are the essence of the whole world. Samsar, the whole. Samsar means whole. Samsar. Saram, essence. Sansar Saram. Bhujagendraharam. Bhujagendra means he holding the necklace of the snakes. Snakes are necklace. That means snake is the symbol of illusion and Maya. You are the only person. You try to keep the Maya and you don't give us Maya. You only give us freedom. That means you taking the all responsibility of the Mayas. So, and you have that power so you can digest them. So you are the only God to help to every beings for the final liberation by taking yourself all responsibility of the sufferings. And you digest all suffering and miseries. For what? The welfare of the whole universe and whole humanity. So therefore, Lord Shiva, he never enjoy in material or physical or sensual entertainments. No. He simply meditated in samadhi to think about us. So it is my concept of thinkings. He never eat. He never sleep. He never eat nothing. He simply meditated in samadhi. So Lord Shiva always in samadhi. So what I mean, Shiva Tattva Dharana. So this is you must always focus. Already I speak about tattvas, of course, and without purification of tattvas, you can't really meditate on Shiva tattvas. So therefore, to be clear now at this point, just before emanation of the primary evaluate of the creation, the awareness can be focused on the Shiva tattva, which is the essence of supreme reality from which the universe has evolved. And this is the dharana of a jnana yoga, which requires discerning awareness. So You need to have expansion of the consciousness so that you can understand the Shiva Tattva, the Shiva consciousness. Now, I jumping the chapter to the Tattvas and Koshas. So I'm very happy today, at least to think about Sutra number 57. I hope. I hope all of you thinking about Shiva Tattva. But let 2 minutes to break it, then again restart. Otherwise, I'm going to close the chapters. So let's disconnect.